Hey friends, today I'm playing with, because I just want to get used to these, I bought these last year. It's the Brusho by Colorcraft Crystal Colors. I started playing with them, and what I noticed was the colors are pretty wild. The first color I picked up actually to use here was, it said olive green, but I noticed it had oranges and some blues and different things. So kind of wild, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to kind of swatch these. I've played with these before, but I thought, I really need to swatch these out. So that's what I'm going to do here. I already swatched this one. Let me find my pen. And they refer to this one as, I'm going to lay these out in front of me here. Terracotta, that sounds pretty. Yellow ochre, moss green, burnt sienna. Ooh, rose red, my favorite color. Let's see, can't wait to see that one. Sandstone. And olive green. Okay, the one I swatched here, this is olive green, but this is what's interesting to me. Olive green. Sorry, I think that's making my camera shake a bit. So I had thought I would open it and it would be, olive green, which to me is like this dark green. So when I opened it, to my surprise, ready? It's orangey red. How crazy is that, you guys? And when I put it on my paper, look how beautiful. I think that's really, really cool. So that is the olive green. Hold on one second here. I'm going to grab something. One second, sorry guys. I had a couple kind of fun things. So this is really a fun little pigment to play with. What I could see, because it's got all these speckles and things like that, is this, how I'm probably going to use this is going to be probably in this type of application, like on heels and things, although I'm going to paint a flower too and see if I can do kind of like an abstract type thing. Let's go ahead and keep going. So sandstone, let's see what that one is. Ooh, and this is supposed to be pretty light fast. I didn't look that up and I don't see it anywhere on here, but when I read about it, it said it was pretty light fast. Okay, so this one makes sense. Sandstone, like that looks like sandstone to me. What I did is I first wet my paper, just like this, and now I'll sprinkle some of that on. And if you haven't worked with Brusho, I'm not kidding. You put the tiniest speck on here. Like that just dropped off, and look at that. So it's, okay, now this one, interestingly, I really like that. And it is just one color. So interesting that this was olive green, but it had all these different colors in it. It even has some of this sandstone in it. As this is spreading out, I notice it has some yellow in it too. So it has like a yellow, and I would call this like a terracotta. So there's that one. Let's do the next one. This is burnt sienna. Let's see what we got here. As you can see, some of these I played with a while back when I first got them. Let's see if I can get that off. And I could see this being really messy, you guys, or maybe that's just me because I tend to kind of make a mess. So this is sandstone. I think it's going to be really important to have these colors down. This is burnt sienna. Ooh, so that's pretty bright. It almost looks to me like what I would refer to as a brick red. Let's create a little watery area here and sprinkle ever so tiny amount. Now, there are different ways to use this, by the way, which maybe I'll play with in a minute. I was just thinking this would be really fun for fields of flowers and such. Ooh, now that's pretty. Just going to play with that a little bit here. So that has some red. Ooh, I even see some purple and yellow in there. This stuff is pretty kind of fascinating. All right, so I'm going to write burnt sienna here. That's a pretty color. I really like that. Burnt sienna. All right, let's go on to the next one. Moss green. Let's open that. And then I'll be playing with these over the week and, you know, finding different ways to apply this. I have played with it a little in the past, but not a whole lot. I kind of forgot I even had them. So, oops, that kind of ran in there. Oh, well, that's all right. Let's see, moss green. Let's see what color this is. Ooh, now see, that isn't any green at all. But sometimes when you do this, it turns greener. So if you do this, oh, see, that is turning green. So fascinating. I'm going to have to Google what exactly these are made from. Ooh, you guys, I really, olive green is kind of my go-to green. I mix it with sap green, so I really like this. I like that one. Ooh, that is beautiful. That's my type of green. And I'm just going to move that around. Yeah, so you can move this around as well. So fun. That's the other thing, by the way. Let me just show you actually really quick. See if I have a little, see if I have a, let's use this. Got some of my little things in here. Let's get rid of those. And you know what? I don't think it's going to show well in there. One second. Let me grab a little palette. I can mix some colors in. One second. Here we go. So let's put some of, I think I'm going to use that moss green actually. And I'm just going to sprinkle a tiny bit in here. That's one thing I'm really realizing. You need so little of this. This little container will probably last years. And then I'm going to go into that with my spray bottle and kind of activate it. Oops, sorry for that camera shake. Now I probably got too much water in there, but, and you can use it as paint like that as well. So that to me is really a true moss green. Let me put this away before I spill it. So interesting. You could use it either way, but I really would probably use it with this effect where it's kind of like those flowers. Let's find my pen here. So this is moss green. Let's go on to our next color here, lime green. Let's see what that is. Let's get that off. Okay, you ready? Lime green. Ah, so funny, right? It looks like, it actually looks like turmeric to me. Let's, well, we could maybe fit it in here. Let's get that lime green. So interesting how it changes color once it hits the paper. Now this is another one. that, like this first one over here, it's got a lot of different colors. So to me, it looks like a viridian almost. And it's got some yellow, it's got some orange, so it's pretty bright. See if I have another pen here. My pen seems to be funky. So this is what they consider lime green, which it does kind of look limey. Look how pretty it is. As it keeps mixing, it does have a lime green in it, but interestingly, it's got some yellow, some orange. So I'm assuming the yellow and the orange are mixing together, just like yellow and red would be green. It's even got a tad bit of blue in there. I don't know if you can pick that up. So let's go into, we got a couple more colors here. That's the lime green. We got 3 more. Terracotta. Let's see what that one is. I like that one. That would be really pretty for like maybe some type of Italian painting. So terracotta, let's see what we got. Now that looks like what I might expect. It's a little bit darker, but let's see. Get some water here on my paper. So terracotta. This one here would be really pretty on like a block wall. Ooh, yeah, look at that. This is pretty. I like this color too. I'm so afraid to get too much on there. That is really pretty. I like that. It's almost got a reddish color in it, obviously, terracotta. But what's interesting is watching these and seeing how they kind of change. Let's see what happens when we drop some water on there. See if it behaves like regular watercolors. Not quite. So that is really pretty. What I'm noticing is these colors are really powerful. They are very, very bright. Okay, where's my pen? Terracotta. Ooh, that one's really pretty. It's interesting watching these because they get darker and darker as they sit here. So terracotta. All right, we have 2 more. Let's check out. I'm going to save rose red for last because that's one of my favorite MeiLiang colors. Let's pull that off. And then we're going to be playing with these. I'm going to try and make some flowers and things that I think could be really pretty. You ready? So this is yellow ochre. So let me show you. Yellow ochre is typically like this type of color, but let's see what we get here. Ooh, as that's blending, look at how beautiful. That is really pretty. Okay, yellow ochre. Okay. That looks like yellow ochre to me. Let's make a little wet area here and tap in some of that. So now I'm already seeing as it's falling out, it's got some bright yellow, it's got some of those blues again. Let's add a tiny bit more water to really get it to. So that's kind of pretty. It's not exactly what I was envisioning, but none of them have been. So there you go. That one's pretty too. These all, I think all of these colors would be so beautiful in landscapes and Italian type scenes. Let's see, let's get this one. This is my favorite rose red. Let's see if it is as beautiful as, oh no, the MeiLiang rose red. Oh goodness, I'm gonna tear a nail off, right? Let me find my scissors. There we go. See if we can cut that off. There we go. All right. Kind of excited to see this one. Do you guys get as excited as I do about new art supplies? Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. It's like Christmas. So this is rose red. Let me show you the rose red here. This is the rose red. And it is really I just have to show you because it's such a beautiful color. Look at that. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I love that color. This kind of reminds me of Quin Magenta in Winsor Newton. Let's create a little, uh-oh. Let me hold this. Oh goodness, this is spilling out. So I need somewhere to, it was kind of spilling out, and my gosh, just as I expected, it's dyeing my hands. Okay, so that pretty much looks like what I would have expected. It's a very deep, bright red, but I'm sure when it hits the water, oh my gosh, I got it everywhere, guys. That's what happens when I say something's my favorite. Okay, let's get this wet. I'm noticing it looks really pretty too when you use a lot of water. So let's get this on here. Ooh, look at that. That is very pretty. Not quite as pink as the MeiLang regular watercolors, but look how pretty that is. Oh, I can see me using that color a lot. Let's get it a little bit wetter. There we go. Yeah, that is really, really pretty. So there you go. Oh, you know, I forgot to write the colors. Let me see. I think that was yellow ochre, if I remember. Yellow ochre. And this is rose red. So definitely I could see this yellow ochre, you know, in a field or a mountain scene. I think that would be really, really pretty. These were some little clouds I did earlier. Yeah, I think, and you know what? I'm curious if we re-wet it. So I put this down earlier. It's now dry. Yep. You can re-wet it and it spreads. So just activating it just like our regular watercolors. I'm going to tap into that a bit, get rid of some of that. Now, isn't this funny? I actually like what I just did there better than what I had there. And that's the excitement and the beauty of playing with your art supplies is, so I just kind of was trying to soak some of that up, but look at what it did. It picked up some of the other stuff there. So what I might even do is I could go in here and even tap in a little bit, maybe right in the corner. But look how fun that is. I think it made my painting even better. So there you go. I wanted to give you, my goodness, look at my hands. They got Brusho all over them. What we're going to try and do is, on another video, is I will try to create some flower petals, and let's see what happens. I just got to play a minute here. Let's see. Let's try that. Rose red. Where did it go? Rose red. Where are you? Rose red. And let's just tap in a little there and see what happens. Let's mix a couple. So I'm going to put the rose red down near the bottom and let that kind of spread out. There we go. And then let's put a little yellow up here. Let's see. Let's go for, let's try the sandstone because that's a little brighter yellow. Where is that? We could use the yellow ochre, olive green, sandstone. Let's put a little bit of that in there and see what happens. And then I'm going to spray this with a tiny bit of water just to see what happens. Let me, oops, sorry. I need my little tiny sprayer and I, don't have it here. Ooh, look at that. That's, oh my goodness, my light is moving all over. That's pretty crazy, guys. We can pick some up. So I think this is going to be really fun to play with. You could get some really crazy spreads if you want to do a flower and then have some maybe abstract pieces coming out. I think that could be really, really fun. Matter of fact, let me see something here. Let me grab another, you know me, my mind gets going as I'm painting with you and I start thinking of things. Let me find a painting. Oops, that one doesn't have a lot in it. Let's see if we can find a painting of a flower and maybe play with it a bit. One second. Oh, don't see one. Let's try this. I'm going to paint a little 5-petal flower. And so point, press. There we go. Let's do another one. Point, press. One more. Point, press. Now this may, again, sometimes I do these things and I'm taking a chance here, guys. But let's just play. This is the advantage of just playing sometimes. There we go. Could even add in a point, press. So it looks like it's kind of on its side. Okay, now I have no idea what I'm doing right here, so don't know what this is going to turn out. I'm going to go for that rose red again. Terracotta, rose red. You know what? Actually, let's go for the orange, which I think was the sandstone. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Let's dip. Put a little bit of that. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be really pretty, you guys. Okay, now it's going to be really pretty or it's going to be a huge disaster. Kind of how I roll. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, I wish I had my tiny sprayer, but I don't see it here. Nope. All right, here we go, guys. Cross your fingers. Okay, so to some of you, that's just going to look like a complete hot mess. And to some of you, that's going to look pretty darn cool. Let's go in with a leaf and our stem. So this is the value of playing, you guys. Look at that. I think that's pretty cool, actually. I'm kind of excited. I think that could be really cool. So there you go. Point, press. Let's get a lighter value. Point, press. Point, press. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. So there you go. There's kind of playing with that Brusho so far. I'm going to see if I can create some landscapes. I could even put some of that Brusho into here if I wanted. Maybe that moss green, but I think this is actually pretty beautiful. See if we need to just pick up a little bit of that. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Very flowy, very loose, almost an abstract feel. So there you go. Just play, have fun. I'm going to clean up my mess here, and then I will be working with those some more to see what else we can do with those. All right, everybody, have fun. Hello again, everyone. I meant to add this to my last video, so I'm just going to try and connect it to the end of this video. A little tip for you is, which I've done before, I just kind of forgot about it. Because this is so crazy trying to get just a little amount out, just poke the top with these little pins, push pins, and that way you can sprinkle it on. I do it both ways. I showed you all of these and I was just kind of sprinkling it on, which is fine. But I think the little push pins is also a great technique. The other thing I wanted to show you is I want to start first. So this one, I started first by wetting the area. Now I've got a little bit of that powder on my paper, which is why it's kind of turning red. Like this. And now I'm going to go in there with my Brusho. Let's find the red or rose red. As you know, that's my favorite color, so. And I'm just gonna take that pin out. You might have to make the hole a little bit bigger, but for the most part, it works. And there we go. I'll just sprinkle that on. But what I did next, so this is the second way to use these, and this would probably be more apt how I would use it. So I've got that red on here. And then I'm just gonna go in with my paintbrush and I'm gonna kind of help it around like I did here. So I'm just taking a damp brush and just kind of spreading it around. You can even make it a little wetter by adding some more water in here. And there we go. And I might even add in a tiny bit of that yellow. Let's see, where's the yellow? Olive green, yellow ochre. I might even put just the tiniest bit of yellow right in the base. You kind of have to make that hole a little bit bigger and let that spread just a bit. So I'm just using a damp brush. And by the way, this is my Degato brush, which you know I love. So look how pretty that is. Now I'm going to go in with my green paint, MeiLiang, while it's wet. And look at how beautiful that is. I think that's really pretty. There you go. So that's just another way to use this. We might even, I mean, gosh, while I'm here, let me grab, I happen to have this watercolor pencil here, one of my favorites, by the way, Cad Red, but to me it looks like a, oh, you know what, we need some leaves here too. It says Cad Red, but I feel like it's more of a pinker color. Point press. There we go. Add a little bit more green in there. Let's see, where's my MeiLang paints? Ooh, that was a heavy value there. Add a little bit more pink, water. But I do like adding in the color of my leaves. Or the color of my flowers to my leaves. Something like that. So there you go. Now we might as well, you know, let's mix it up. Let's see what happens when we add some of this watercolor pencil in there. If you like a little more detail, this could be your jam. To add a tiny bit more detail. Let's see if I just happen to have another one here, yellow ochre. Could do that. So there you go. Just a few fun things. So that's another technique. I would probably be more apt to use this technique. I really like it. I think it's fun with the Brusho. So there you go. There's two techniques in one video for you. And I have a really great surprise coming Thursday with the Brusho that I cannot wait to share with you. And I'm not even going to give you a hint. All right, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.